expected. I'm still learning this YouTube thing. What do we got here? So, I figured I'd talk to you guys tonight about pricing knives and the whole um, the what I hate most about making knives, maybe. Um, and that is pricing my work. How do you come up with a price that is fair? How do you, you know, do all that? So, anyways, I say that because I'm going to be selling this knife. Now, I haven't had any knives available for quite some time. Just different things in life, moving, other than my production knives. Um, I'm getting back in the swing of things. I'm getting knives out and working on another run for my stakeholders. Um, but yeah, I haven't had really anything available for quite some time. So there's a lot I've been thinking about, and like I said, pricing a knife is one of the hardest things to do because you want to sell a product, you want to sell something that has value, that's going to bring people joy, that's going to people are going to want to use, or there's different categories that people spend money on, right? They spend money on things that they want, things that they need, and things that bring them enjoyment. And when it comes to knives, it's not, it's rarely ever a purchase based on needs. It's normally a purchase based on wants. Um, and then there's just a whole lot we could talk about when it comes down to money, um, our economy, the money system, inflation, and it's a very complex subject. And I've thought about a lot of things when it comes to business, doing something that I can make a living at, that I enjoy doing, that brings people value, and um, you know my goals in life are not to be a multimillionaire. To I'd say to be a millionaire, but and today that's not a lot of times when it comes to having land and having vehicles and possessions, it's like it doesn't go very far in this economy that we're in today. So um yeah, where are we at? So anyways, this knife I'm going to get up on the website here soon, and I'm not sure. In the past I've done auctions. um I like doing auctions because the price is just kind of set by demand. Um, but I'm probably just going to put a price on this knife and sell it that way. And the price is going to be really steep. And some people are going to think, when they see the price, they're going to think, they're going to form opinions and judgments about me, about, is it worth it? And you're always going to have people that are going to be like, oh, he's ripping people off. Oh, he's charging too much for his work. But when it comes right down to it, do you have any business tips for an upcoming business owner? Yeah, I've got lots of it. Um, and we'll talk about pricing. This is a great thing to talk about. Talking about business and owning. So I went to the website today to sign up for a product, and it's a StreamYard. It's a it's a platform, a thing that it allows you to stream to multiple platforms at once. And right away, it annoyed the crap out of me because there was no price. I could not see the price of their service without signing up for a free trial. A free trial, free this, free, free, free. And it's like, just tell me what it cost. Just shoot me straight and tell me what it cost. And I'm stubborn and I wasted more time than just signing up for the free trial because I don't want to sign up for a free trial. I don't want to give you any information. Give me a price, let me decide, and yeah, let me decide. Let me make a decision. I'm a big boy. Give me the price. So, anyways, I end up Googling what does StreamYard cost, and I get an answer. And I knew like 40 some dollars a month. It's expensive. They have free, free products. You could sign up, but then, if you run a business, it's more or, whatever. And it's like, I love the idea of giving away stuff for free. But one thing that they said on their website that I really liked and I really agreed, like I could resonate with, is they said, basically, they have free products for people who are looking for free stuff. But ultimately, nothing in life is free. Ultimately, it used to be known like there is no such thing as free. Somebody is paying the bill. Okay? If something is free, someone else is paying for it. Um, so, really, all their other customers are paying for that free service, or the owners of the business are paying for that free service. I am very, I am very practical. I don't ask businesses for free stuff. I don't take, free pins or free because I realize as a business owner that's costing them money. And in some ways, if it's like a promotional type product, a little bit of it is just getting their name out there. But anyways, nothing is free. Somebody's paying for that. It's nothing is free. Um, so yeah. And on the bottom of their website, they said, I don't remember exactly how they said it, but basically, they want to provide a service for people. They have to charge enough to make it um, feasible, right? Like most people don't wake up in the morning and say, "What kind of work can I do for some stranger that I don't know, and how can I serve them?" Okay. So at the end of the day, I have a family to support. I live pretty simple. Um, I don't drive new vehicles. I don't, um, whatever. But I have to pay the bills. I have to feed my family. I have to, this is not free. This is costing me. It's taking time from my family. It's taking time from my kids, from my wife. It's taking time that I could be doing something else other than sitting here in front of a camera. And I know too, like it's not free for you. You're investing in me. You're investing you're spending time with me, and that's costing you. Okay, so I want it to be mutually beneficial. I have a viral video with over 6 million views, and it's called "The Unbelievable Carpentry Trick." And I have put a lot of content out on YouTube. I have spent a lot of time trying to educate people, trying to provide them value on sharpening and different things. And my most successful video to date is a video that took me the least amount of time to film. I put the least amount of effort in it. And I shared it because it was something that when I learned it, I got value out of it. And the value that I got out of it was just sheer entertainment. Um, yeah, stop leaving, guys. No, let them leave. I want the people who want to be here. So, thank you. So, I want to provide people with value, and sometimes that value is going to be an entertainment value, sometimes it's going to be an educational value. The value is going to be different for different people. So, the most successful video I had, it was successful because some people felt like I wasted their time, and some people felt like, I struck a chord with them. It resonated with them. They had the same experience that I had when I seen it, is of awe and wonder, or like, that's neat. It's something that they'll remember and it'll stick with them. And then you have the people that just think it's wasting my time. And YouTube is full, the internet is full of people who are quite okay with wasting people's time to profit. I'm not trying to profit off of wasting people's time, but I do have a family to feed and I have to be profitable to be able to make these videos, to be able to make these knives. And so, pricing things is one of the hardest things I do. And this same knife, it's, it's the whole cheesy thing, like, oh, it took me 5 years and 10,000 hours and yada, yada, yada to learn to be able to make knives to this quality. Um, I strive to make the best knives I can. I have countless hours in the knives that I make, and a little bit of it is I just don't know when to stop. So, um, if I have 40 hours in a knife, which there are knives that I have 40 hours in, then if I pay myself, and if I charge $40 an hour, now I'm not making $40 an hour because I have all my overhead and everything else. But if I have $40 an hour times 40 hours, $1,600, and then you got the materials. If I have 200, you're at $1,800, and I realize that that's out of a lot of people's realm, out of their, it's not realistic for them to spend that kind of money on a knife. But that's not for everybody. So I wish that everyone could own one of my knives, but I know that it's not for everybody. So, anyways, I'm raising my prices. I want to start charging what I need to charge so that I can continue to do what I enjoy doing. And that's putting content out here on YouTube. That's making the best knives that I can make for the few people that I can make them for. It's providing value to my stakeholders, and it's providing value to my customers. And I believe that if you do a good job as a knife maker, that you will continue to bring value, continue to build that value for the knives that are out there, and they will appreciate in value over time. Now, everything that is out there, I think, has a bell curve. Okay, so as I make knives, when I started out making knives, I was selling them for a lot less. Some of those early knives one day will sell for double, triple, whatever I sold 4 times. Who knows? 10x what I charged for them. And I feel like if I do my job as a maker and I build the brand and I build the quality, that the value of my knives will go up over time. So that's my goal as a knife maker, is to make the best knives that I can make, and that I build the brand to add value to that brand, to increase the value of all the knives out there. And that's my goal. And I want to do it with integrity, and I want to do it in a way that I'm not stealing from my family, from my kids, from my wife, that I'm not taking from them and giving. And there's a time to sacrifice your time that you could spend with your kids, or the time that you could spend with your wife, um, and serve others. And that's okay. When you choose to do that, that's okay. But for the most part, everybody is out there just trying to make a living, provide for themselves, and it's tough. Let's see. This is the link to unbelievable. Oh, thanks. Um, where do I live? I live in southeast Missouri in the Ozarks. Oh, got it. So, anyways, I was listening to. There's there's so many people um, that have opinions and make comments about this company or that company, and the saying that don't judge a man until you've walked a mile in his shoes. A lot of people like to make judgments on information or on topics that they really have little to no understanding about, and realizing that what you charge an hour is not what you make as as an employer. Um, and yeah, so when people hear, but basically, I have a shop rate, and I'm going to apply that to the time that I spend on the knives. I have spreadsheets. I try to track my cost, try to track my time, and I try to charge a fair value. At the end of the day, there's probably somebody out there that can make knives faster, but I think I'm not the best maker out there, but I do strive to make the best knives I can, and I'm better than quite a few of them. No, that's not to be prideful or whatever, but your advice is so inspiring. Thank you. Um, Running a business is not easy. I was just telling my wife this morning. It's like there's a whole lot to just punching a time clock, getting paid, and going home. Um, when I went back to line work here a couple of years ago, um, I wasn't sure if I'd get back in. I had been out of line work for 7 years. I've been making knives full time for over 7 years, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get a job back, even though I was trained, I was qualified. Companies don't like to hire you when you walk away from a career, especially like something like line work. And in the interview, I told him, I said, look, I understand what it takes to write a check, to write a paycheck, and I'll be a better employee now than ever before because I know that if I'm not providing more value to my employer than what he's paying me, the writing's on the wall. Like business owners can't have employees that aren't making as much or more money than they are getting paid. It doesn't there's that doesn't that's not how business works. And it's a business transaction, right? You're getting paid to provide your employer value, and you have to be bringing in more value. So it's not. I just spent $600 on a surface grinding stone this morning. I have thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. I don't even want to say how much money I have tied up in tools and equipment. And guess what? If I drop that $600 grinding stone and it breaks, it's coming out of my pocket. Like you have accidents as a business owner that cost you dearly, uh, and you have to eat that cost. And when an employee damages something, they don't see that cost. They still get paid at the end of the day, and you know, but at the end of the day, too, if that employee keeps tearing up stuff and keeps costing his employer money, it's a matter of time before that employer just says, "Hey, it's not working out." So, anyways, um, there's I could go on a long time. It's pricing knives is one of the pricing product is one of the hardest things you do as a business owner. or at least it should be, because you're putting a place, you you're putting a price on your product that at the end of the day is going to make or break your business, right? Like, if I price myself too high, I price myself out of work. If I price myself too low, I'm going to put myself out of work. Um, and I think the problem is when people do something as a hobby or as a passion, like knife making, you've got all sorts of people out there who have no idea what how much money they really have in the product that they're selling, or they're just perfectly content with recouping the money in their materials and having a little beer money or whatever money. And so a person looks at something like a knife and say, well, I know a guy down the street that can do it for $200. Well, yeah, that guy's not making any money, and he's darn sure not doing it, for a living. And if he is, I guarantee you, I can look at that knife and tear it apart and tell you all the things wrong with it. And that's the other business model. I could crank out knives of lower quality a lot faster and ship them out, but that's not what I want to do. That's not. And I might end up doing that. Like, there is a chance that I will do some um, work knives that you know are definitely branded and labeled as such, because I do know that there's a demand for that. But yeah, that's just not what I do. I'm making high end custom knives, the best knives I can possibly make, and they get better every day. And that's what I want to do. And as long as I can do that and pay the bills, businesses have to cash flow. You have to keep money coming in, more money coming in than going out. So that's uh that's my goal. And I've managed to do it for many years, but it hasn't come without a cost. We the cost that kept me alive for so many years was we were getting rid of things. We got rid of the family cow. We got rid of you know, all the things that we had, and to the point that we sold our farm. My business really wasn't successful to the extent that many people would have assumed. Um, but, anyways, so that's where we're at. I want to continue making high quality custom knives. My prices are going to go up on my custom work, and I'm going to continue to try to build value for my customers, and we'll see how it goes. And if push comes to shove, I'll go back to line work or climbing poles or doing something. But um, I hope I don't have to. But I'm also going to have to make some decisions and make things work the way that they need to work. How about you try to make it in less time using some new technologies? If you are interested, we can have some discussion. Yeah, um, when technology makes a knife, it's not the same. And I mean, I use technology. I have CNCs, and I have my production knives that are mass produced, or whatever. That is, at the end of the day, like, I freehand grind all my knives. A lot of people use jigs and stuff, but that's not what I do. Um, but yeah, we can talk. I'd be more than happy to talk. But at the end of the day, it's kind of interesting there's a difference in something a machine makes and something a human makes. And without getting too spiritual or new aged or whatever, um, I've heard it said, like your soul is your heart, your mind, or your heart, your will, and your emotions, or something like that. And when you work with something with your hands, you impart part of your soul into it, part of your uh, whatever. And I believe that things that are handmade have an intrinsic value that is something that you don't get from a machine. And so anytime you use technology, I think you lose a part of that in the craft. Yeah, yes, sir, Jesse. We're gonna get there. We're getting there. We're gonna get there soon. So, how about you try to make it less time? We'll see. Got to run. Have a good night. Hey, Jesse, you take care. I love talking to you. Look forward to talking to you soon. What is a good knife for Father's Day? A good knife for Father's Day is one with a little bit of thought and any knife is a good knife for Father's Day. My son brings me rocks out of the driveway. And I love every one of them. They may make their way back to the driveway, but it's the thought behind a gift that matters. What type of tools do you use? um, so I have my production knives. I have companies who do part of the work, the laser cutting, the Blanchard grinding, the double disc grinding. I have considered getting equipment to do that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, to operate some of these, you're talking about over $1 million worth of equipment, and when you have equipment like that, you keep them running. Means employees, it means outsourcing work for other companies, and I'm not interested in that, at least not at this stage. Um, I use grinders. Um, I don't know. I have a CNC. I CNC some handles for production knives, but for a knife like this, it's all done on a 2x72, a mill, drill presses, band saws. It's just a lot of work involved. I have videos on my channel somewhere of making this. I call it the Ranger knife. It's a Bob Loveless drop point hunter profile. Bob Loveless used to sell this knife profile for $3,000 a piece back in the 80s or 90s. And a lot of Loveless knives now sell for $5, $10, $15,000. What do you think of business that use technologies to make something, but you spend the time making the model, like 3D printing? Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think, I'm using technology. I'm using a motor and I'm not using a water wheel and, some sort of grinder. I like technology. I like tools that make things more efficient. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like um, a potter, somebody who throws pottery. When you physically throw that pottery and you're shaping it and sculpting it, there's going to be subtle nuances and things that are imparted to that a machine's just never going to replicate. Even if you sit there and you design it on a computer and you have, I mean, it's crazy where technology is going. I could sit here and wire me up and grind a knife and take a robotic arm and have it mimic everything that I did. And then it's like, well, you know, same thing, right? Um, I don't know. It could be argued. So yeah, thank you for taking time. Thank you for leaving a comment. I appreciate it. A 3D printer. Yeah, I use 3D printers. I've used CNCs. Um, I think I found the blade, but I'm going to get one of my deer sheds on for a handle. Yeah, that's cool. When you when you can give that knife some sentimental value, I think that that's a great gift. It adds to it, and um, there's a, I think there's a market for that for people who want to take and work with something, um, like antler and stuff like that. I personally don't like working with antler. Um, Not that I feel I when you put a lot of time into a knife, I like to have something that I feel like is valuable, and value comes from many different things. Um, but at the end of the day, a deer antler is a deer antler to most people, um, and the quantity of deer antlers is numerous. Something like ivory is more rare, more valuable. Um, and so I was talking to a guy today for these limited edition run knives, and you know, it's like each one of for my knives, I like to hand select pieces and find the highest quality pieces that I can find for the knives, because if I'm going to spend 20, 30, 40 hours on a knife, I don't want to put a $10, $20 handle scale on it. I want to put something that has value, that's going to really make the knife stand out apart from every other one like it. So, I mean, you know, probably millions of people have made a Loveless drop point hunter, and you know what's going to make it stand out from all the rest. And that's something that I really like about this particular knife is it's different. It's a dyed maple burl, I believe, and it's got some blues and some reds and some greens, and I really like how this handle came together, and it's something that sometimes colors and dyes and like that take away from detract from um, the knife itself. But I feel like this knife really came together nicely. And here's the thing: it's funny because people will say that people will say that a knife is ugly, but you can't really argue when millions of them are sold. So there are definitely brands out there, knife profiles out there that I just think are absolutely hideous, but they sell millions of them. So who am I to say, like, everybody has their personal opinion on what they like and what is cool. I think I found the, okay, let's see. Hey, Patrick, and hope we are having a wonderful night. Nice. Thank you for stopping in. Um, my wife is not out here, but she is online and reading your comments. So hopefully I don't miss any of your comments, but um, I'll try to respond to them if I see them. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to also have a photographer friend of mine take some nice photos of this knife, and then we'll have it on the website portfolio. But this is actually a knife that I completed several years back. It's one that I've had in my collection, and I decided to put it out there in the world and see what happens. So Any other questions tonight? Anybody got any questions about business, about knives, about pricing? If not, I'm gonna head off of here and get some work done. Probably got an hour or so, get some more work done today. But I hope you guys, if you're watching this in the future, drop a comment, smash the like button. I'll do my best to reply to your comments when I get a chance. What kind of website maker do you use for your website, if you do? So my website is that's a good question. It's a WooCommerce? No, not WooCommerce. I don't know. My mind is drawing blank. It's one that you can just like plug and play, drop pieces in, and I have an IT guy that helps me keep stuff up to date and update plugins and all that kind of stuff. WordPress, that's it. WordPress. WordPress is a pretty popular. They've got all sorts of templates and plugins you can add to it to do just about anything. I've done a lot of different things over the years. When I first started out, I made my own website. Or first started out, I started on a Blogspot website and just kind of did posting blogs. And I moved over to a website. I think I might have built the first one myself, very basic. And then I've had different web developers help me over the years do different sites. And the website might get updated again here shortly because, you know, try to keep it fresh and working good. I hate websites. I am not an computer guy. I've had some people here recently try to place orders. They said they couldn't add it to their cart. I haven't figured out why. But if you have that problem, you can reach out to me. I know I'm probably losing some business because of it, because a lot of people, if they have problems, they just go away or they don't say anything. But it's a struggle to have a website that works for everybody. I dislike working on websites. So, anyways, who else here has got any questions about knife making, pricing, business, and who is going to get this beautiful knife? Now, that's something too. It's kind of funny. You know, somebody say, "Well, what do you do with an $800 knife?" My answer is everything you do with a $20 knife or a $50 knife. I would not at all hesitate to go out and use this knife. It is made to use. It is not an art knife that does not, is incapable of functioning. I have one of these knives. I use it. I've rammed it into the rib cage and, like it's a user. I feel like this is one of the most perfect design knives for like a hunting belt carry knife. You're not going to find a better blade profile. It fits nice in your hand. It feels good. You can get a good grip. You can do whatever you need to do. It's going to stand up to some abuse. One of my stakeholders said, with this knife I'm getting ready to come out with, they're like, don't put a mirror polish on it. It scratches too easy. And it's like, I don't find that. Like, I have got some scratches on my knife, but I also don't really worry about that too much. The good thing about a mirror polish is it's going to resist rust better. Now, this is a stain resistant steel, but they can still rust if not taken care of. But I would use this knife in a heartbeat. Some people are going to put it up, they're going to put it in a safe. It's just going to sit there. And if you're collecting knives, if you're a knife collector, that's great. I like to use my knives. So, you spend a lot of money on something, it's hard to do that. But also, What good something that you just put in a safe and leave it there till you die, and then your kids sell it for nothing because they don't know what it's worth. What kind of whoops? Yeah, we got that already. So, yeah, I make knives to use. You definitely could use these knives. Um, you should use them, but if you're buying them to collect, that's fine too. Anyways, this has been Patrick Rorman with MT Knives. I appreciate you guys for your time. Appreciate your comments and your support. If you would, smash that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe if you like this content. If you'd like to see anything different, you'd like me to talk about business, if you'd like me to talk about knife making, leave a comment. I'm going to hopefully be doing some videos on Kydex sheath making for a buddy of mine. I have some different ideas, some videos I'll be putting out. We'll be doing some videos on the limited edition knives, making them, the process of that. So anyways, y'all have a great night. This has been Patrick with MT Knives. Stay sharp.